blood group, and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It is the 10th of July and we're halfway through the year of 2022. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda and welcome to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha and Mugalu Mohammed on Sign Language. In our top stories of the day, the State House Controller, Jen Badeche, has advised industrial hub managers currently undergoing a 2-week leadership training at the National Leadership Institute in Changwanzi to use the opportunity of their new roles to contribute towards the development of the country. Now, Badeche was giving a lecture to 40 newly appointed managers and their assistants from the different State House industrial hubs spread across the country, stressed that by giving clear leadership in the skilling program of youths in their respective regions, they will be able to make a positive contribution towards Uganda's development. So she stressed, that it will be through such programs that the government will eliminate poverty in rural and urban households in Uganda. She also applauded the vision and efforts of President Museveni for coming up with a great skilling program. Badeche also challenged the managers to ensure that there's strict discipline among the learners, saying that any form of indiscipline, such as immoral behaviors, will discredit the main objectives of this skilling program. She said each industrial hub will be accommodating a total of 300 youths who will be training in different skills over a period of 6 months, adding that all the participants shall be residing at their respective hubs. Nali Deputy Director Kano Henry Seruga welcomed the participants, saying that they will do their part to churn out cadres who are patriotic, committed with perseverance, and have a broad understanding of Uganda's national interest and elements that shape the country's political and economic panorama. He said as Uganda gears towards Vision 2040, they need to remind themselves of their cardinal roles in the effort, saying being industrial hub managers places upon them a high premium in terms of responsibility, good leadership, creativity and innovation. Engineer Sharon Kyomugisha, the Director of Presidential Projects and Industrial Hubs, disclosed that 12 industrial hubs will be starting full operations by the 23rd of July and will each admit a total of 300 youths per semester who will be studying on a residential basis for 6 months. He said the hubs will go a long way in acting as key centers for the transforming of lives of Ugandans across the country. Earlier on, the State House Comptroller and her team met and held discussions with Brigadier General Charles Chisembo, the Director of NALI, who expressed his delight for hosting the 40 participants, saying that they are sharing a lot of experiences in terms of knowledge, skills and essential tools to enhance their effectiveness.
They are family owners, but they've come to earn a living, to pick something that can lead them into earning. So you have to tolerate. Maybe you're going to meet drunkards. How do you change their mind? You change yourself. Then after changing yourself, you move on and change them. Transfer the knowledge, transfer the skill you've picked from here, and lead them. Lead them. This is what I wanted to tell you about our objective. The next objective is, when we come to value addition, then you're going to mix up with the public. You're going to handle farmers. You're going to handle farmers. You're going to meet people. Which message do you transfer into the society is very important in relation to our leadership. Don't intend to make this a small business. Say they've given me a hub. Now if farmers come, I'm going to put in a small price. If they bring things, I'm going to tell them we are getting their products, processing them at a small fee. Please, our eyes are on the ground. This is a very, very superior team that is managing hubs. Go change it, go and serve your country.
Whoever thinks this is not an opportunity for them, they are not going to pick anything. Okay? Many of us were high at a point. I think you tell yourselves when you're conversing in your leisure time that I was once the general manager of a certain company, I was once what? That is not the story, isn't it? Here is an opportunity for you to rise and shine again for your country, for your family, for your community in the through the industrial hub.
I would like to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for his unmatched wisdom to have chose this project that is going to enable Ugandans attain the socio-economic transformation. Madam Comptroller, let me take this opportunity also to thank you for having selected us among many Ugandans to spearhead this noble cause of changing the lives of Ugandans.
Moroto district residents are now exchanging firewood and charcoal for local breed rigs as food. This comes at a time when famine bites deeper into communities following unfavorable weather and insecurity, which left many without going to the gardens. Now, however, the State Minister for Relief, Disaster and Refugees, Esther Anyakun, said that Moroto will soon be getting food from government. Take a look.
I don't have money for buying food.
By 5 a.m., children and women are already moving from one corner to another of Moroto municipality with either a sack of charcoal or firewood on their heads with a jerrycan on top. They come from areas like Rupa, Nadunget, Loptuk, which are many kilometers away from Moroto municipality. They rotate in areas of Camp Swahili, Kakolye, Labolin and Katanga, where they market their items. Many of their customers are local brewers of Ebutia and Ikwete. Although there is increase in commodity prices across the country, these children and women's items are valued at low cost, where many exchange them with local brewed dregs.
Nothing to sell to buy even anything like this. So they have resorted going to the wilderness, get firewood, get charcoal to exchange it with residue. They cannot exchange firewood or charcoal for food. It is expensive. Those ones cannot accept the firewood. They bring it, the cheapest one they can afford is residue.
People are suffering here. Now they have no food here. They are just feeding on residue. They bring firewood, they come and collect the residue.
Reaching at some of the brew spot, over 10 people were seated eating the dregs.
Kakati tulia daka tulide mbanga nyingi lwa mmere teriiwo nga nyingi nga tetulia kawunga kula sente meka bigula bisatu balala bitano.
Some can spend the whole day without getting buyers, and they have to sleep out to wait for another day.
They may sell it for 4,000-5,000, and yet a can of 3 kilos or 2 kilos and a half of maize is 10,000. It is a very difficult situation here.
And it is good to see people they are suffering. Better you to help us before dying.
The State Minister for Relief, Disaster and Refugees, Esther Davinia Anyakun, promised that food will be coming to Karamoja.
Each sub-county 200 bags of posho, 100 bags of beans. Let me now tell you.
Sudat Kaye, Maureen Yeager, UBC News.
In a move aimed at highlighting the achievements of the NRM government, especially among the youth, Boda Boda operators have launched a nationwide football tournament that is likely to run for 5 months. The tournament, codenamed MK Boda Boda Football Initiative, also intends to popularize the Commander Land Forces Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Take a look.
Hundreds of Boda Boda fans over the weekend gathered in Luweero to witness the launch of Muhoozi Kainerugaba Boda Boda Football Tournament. Some of the participating teams were from Kampala.
Tutambude n'abasawo babiri. Tutambude n'omusawo mu ambulance yaffe, ano tutambula n'omusawo wa pichipichi zaffe.
En route to Luweero, queues of riders donned in t-shirts bearing portraits of Muhoozi Kainerugaba painted Gulu Kampala Highway yellow and white. The games were hosted at Kasana, Luweero Playgrounds. In the final game of the day, Balita FC entertained the MK Boda Boda Initiative team. 2 goals in favor of Balita FC sealed up the score. The games are intended to popularize the Commander Land Forces, Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, and also remind the youth about the NRM's achievements.
Tutambula buli district yonna kuba twakirizibwa ya tukiriza fema jega gokutaka twakanya tulina okutambula ensi yonna. General Muhoozi akyali serving am officer neffe byo tebitukwatako ffe gwe twagala. Era tugenda kutambula nga tuyita mu byemizannyo kuba ebyemizannyo bikolebwa abavubuka tuyita mu byemizannyo okutapinga abavubuka n'okutegeera biki bye baagala kuba ffe tutuli bannabyabufuzi era tetulina bibiina byabufuzi ffe General Muhoozi tumwagala ng'omuntu omuteeketeeke.
Ngati Muhoozi tulina projects nyingi zotamina muwendo esobola tulina ambulance woolwalira muwerwaziza tukukima waka wuwo paka mudwaliro kujanjaba ate bwoyagala nga tulina piki ya kuvuga ya loni tukuwa piki bubanga tulina taka tukwetaka lya loni tubina byonna bwebiri so project Muhoozi tulina buli kimu kyonna omuvubuka kigenda okuyamba okulakulana.
Land Forces Commander Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba has on several occasions pointed out at reviving the country's sports sector as part of his key assignments, regardless of his position in the Uganda's army. Robert Onyango and Joma Nsamba for UBC News.
Umeme is to spend about 12 billion Ugandan shillings in the rehabilitation of electricity infrastructure in the eastern region of the country. The initiative by the power distribution companies aimed at enhancing power supply reliability. Details follow.
The eastern districts of Jinja, Kamuli, Tororo, Busia, Kapchorwa and Mbale, among others, often suffer from rampant power outages, mainly due to electricity infrastructure challenges.
Busia has been there for so long, but most of the sub-counties are not connected on the grid.
Pakitoleyo bakazi bali kwenda okukazengege ku masanyalaze buli kimu kirimu aya masanyalaze wazira.
To sort out the power reliability issue, Umeme has earmarked $3 million for major power line rehabilitation works in the region.
This program covers mainly reliability. Previously, we had first strengthened the investments in revamping the network, building substations and integration lines in Mbale and Tororo. Now we are going on reliability to improve reliability in this area. So we are launching a program which is worth around $3 million, which will cover refurbishment of a number of feeder lines which are not performing well and with reliability issues. There are mainly 6 lines we shall be refurbishing under this program. The first one is Mbale, Bubulo, right? Second one is Bubulo, Bududa, Ikiki, Kibuku, Tororo, Busia, then Nagongera, Butaleja. We shall be covering Bulangira, Palisa, and among others.
The power distributor will replace rotten poles, string cables and install specific hardware on the Lugazi Town, Jinja, Kamuri and the Iganga Chibimba power distribution lines to improve efficiency.
We are also going to upgrade the conductor along different sections because we've got signals from investors like some of the factories that they intend to expand, and they need to alert us, which they've done, which is good. And we plan to ensure that those sections that are going to those factories and other industrial complexes get enough power. So the critical choke points on the network are also going to be upgraded. In certain cases, we are going to introduce cable works that will provide all of that. Is just a cocktail of solutions that are specifically designed to improve supply reliability and the customer experience.
The rehabilitation under Umeme's Capital Works project begins this month to the end of the year.
We believe with this last phase of investment, this Elgon-Tororo belt will be receiving more stable, reliable supply for the benefit of the consumers. What we have observed with the stakeholders, there is a shift in expectations. The stakeholders are fully aware that the country has sufficient power supply. The key point, again, which is 95% of the feedback we got, is to address reliability. They want the power on all the time. And if it goes off, they need information and or responsive service.
As the project commences, security agencies have been put on high alert to stop vandalism of new and old electricity infrastructure. In the recent months, many cases of vandalism, including cutting down of power poles, theft of copper power lines, siphoning of transformer oil, and harvesting of iron bars on electricity towers have been reported. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
In more news, the Ministry of Education and Sports is to liaise with both public and private secondary schools with the purpose of organizing science fairs as a way of popularizing the revised new law's secondary curriculum. This was revealed by the Director Education Standards Agency's Dr. Kedres Tuyagenda at the closing of 2022 National Science Fair Symposium organized by the Uganda Science Education Program at St. Joseph Nsambya Girls School in Kampala.
Government of Uganda through the Ministry of Education and Sports recently unveiled a revised curriculum that emphasizes the teaching of science-related subjects in the lower secondary curriculum. The Direct Education Standards Agency, Dr. Kedres Tuyagenda, says the ministry will be liaising with schools managers and educationists in order to popularize the new curriculum. She was officiating the closing of the National Secondary Schools Science Symposium organized by the Uganda Science Education Program.
So generally for lower secondary or O level, we are not looking at scientists. We are looking at scientific literate population. And this is something that everybody needs. In fact, it was the basis for making sciences compulsory.
The WUSEP board chairperson, Brother Vincent Varigi, and the University of Chesobi Vice Chancellor, Brother Deogracius Mugema, asked the government to partner with the private sector and civil society to support such programs.
And it's high time we started looking for other people to support these activities. And that is the reason why we are appealing to government to support such organizations that are doing a credible work in the improvement of science.
We can talk and talk about science and innovation, but unless we invest in science, we are just playing games.
Some educationists from the Directorate of Industrial Training and Forum for Women Educationists commended the program.
At the end of S3, these learners are going to be assessed and certified. They will be having a certificate of qualification level 1 in each of the occupations that they have studied. Science is not hard. Let us help each other. Let us learn. The practices that are being brought forward are good for us.
The WhatsApp Executive Secretary, Lawrence Senkubuge, said this year's fairs aimed at applying classroom science to mitigate the effects of COVID-19.
For this year, science and enterprise in addressing the global COVID-19 challenge was chosen as a way of tickling the inquisitive nature of the learners about their future, which will focus on solving unforeseen problems.
Over 20 schools participated in this year's symposium, including some from the hard-to-reach areas and refugee settlements. The Uganda Science Education Program was jointly initiated by the Brothers of Christian Instruction and the Little Sisters of St. Francis of Assisi in 2008 and implemented by the University of Kisubi. Story compiled by Edward Collins, Juko.
The World Food Programme has emphasized the need of putting more focus on production locally to address the challenge of food insecurity, especially for refugees. This has been disclosed by the Director, United Nations World Food Programme, Director Uganda, Megag Abraham, in a meeting with the self-taught fine artist Ragi Kumalo, renowned for spreading the spirit of Ubuntu to the African continent in Kampala.
The World Food Programme is currently feeding close to 1.5 million refugees in Uganda. The Director, United Nations World Food Programme, Megag Abraham, says they are now focusing on individual profiling to identify those in critical need of food.
To target actually to those who really in need of assistance. One of the reasons that we reduce the ration is because of resource availability. We will continue to mobilize resources, advocate for the refugees. These refugees need their, the international community support as long as they are in their settlement. So obviously the reduction is there, but we are closely monitoring.
Megag says most of the food provided to the refugees is from the locals, hence the need to inject more in local production.
The situation has been further complicated by the crisis of Ukraine. The prices of food are going up, the prices of fuel are going up, fertilizers are going up. So this is the time that honestly we need to be looking not only getting and importing food from outside, but putting more focus on production. We have in Uganda, the land is very fertile, the land is very, very rich, so we need to be having policies and programs, and I'm sure the Ugandan government has got these policies already of having a massive production.
He said the time is now to support smallholder farmers, especially in Karamoja.
We want to see that one go, we want to see it being enlarged. We also buy some food for operations in South Sudan, operations in DRC. So what we want to see is our ambition and our plan and strategy. So we will buy all the food that we want for the refugee operations locally. Karamoja is a special case. Karamoja is a region that always faces a recurrent drought. And we've been there many years. We have got a school feeding programs where 300,000 children are getting school meals on a regular basis. We have got the nutritional interventions that we have got in for the malnourished children, pregnant and lactating mothers in Karamoja. We have got what we call agricultural market support, where we help the smallholder farmers. And I was really very much impressed. I always mention as an example of seeing a Kabong women associations.
Megag says they are now supporting the fish pond business in Karamoja to boost production. United Nations World Food Programme is also working with refugees to send messages of social change to bring the situation of the refugees to the international community. Sudat, Kaye, UBC News.
Now, 1 unit out of the 6 at Karuma Hydro Power Dam being installed to generate electricity in October this year. Timelines have also been laid out for the remaining 5 units to be fully functional in the first half of 2023. This was disclosed during a site visit and progress review by Uganda's ambassador to China, Oliver Oneka, and China's ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Linshong. Take a look.
Well, according to the contractor, Sino Hydro works on Karuma Hydro Power Dam in advanced stages, and very soon 3 units, each adding 100 megawatts, are set to be commissioned.
Set in our schedule. Our first unit is expected to come online in October, and then November and the subsequent month of December. That will add a total of 300 megawatts to the grid, and then the other subsequent units will follow into the year 2023, January, Feb, and March.
Commissions, the track commission is already completed to 40% around. So we are confident for first unit can be commissioned in due time.
Intent, commitment and assurance from the ground players at Karuma indicating that Uganda's flagship hydropower project is on course. According to the contractors, work on the dam is now at 99%. Engineer Paul Tumwine from the Uganda Electricity Generation Company explains what entails the remaining 1%.
1% we are talking about is ensuring that the equipment installed and designed are tested and passed. So the key word there is passed. So there will be rigorous tests undertaken on this equipment, and once that is passed, that 1% comes through.
The project manager from Shino Hydro highlighted the delays on the project, attributing them to the COVID-19 pandemic. The People's Republic of China's ambassador to Uganda stressed that all efforts will now be geared towards the fruitful completion of the project.
I have toured this site and I find that a lot of progress, real progress has been made. And I'm more than happy, more than anxious to see the completion of this flagship project between China and Uganda. And I'd like to see that it will bring more real benefits, real impact on the socio-economic development of Uganda.
Karuma Hydropower Dam's construction started in 2013, and since then, this project has been met by delays and difficulties. However, once online, the dam will add 600 megawatts onto Uganda's national grid.
When power goes off, everybody remembers what the president has been saying, that soon we are having excess power. We will be supplying to neighbors in the region. And once power is off, it's very difficult to be convinced. But from what we've seen, the figures we've been told, the facts on the ground, I think it is soon happening.
Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Now, Kampala Affairs Minister Hajat Minsa Kabanda has asked legislators in Mukono to market locally manufactured commodities for young entrepreneurs. The minister disclosed this at a trade exhibition at the district headquarters in Mukono.
Kampala Affairs Minister Hajat Minsa Kabanda has asked Mukono legislators to desist from cheap politics but rather focus on encouraging people to enhance government programs and supporting young entrepreneurs.
Wananga wapate cho wapate chi baja kumwongera chi ekisanja n'olwekyo tukolera abantu kubanga be batulonda. Second, tubayambe ko batasobola kubanga fetaala zaabwe fetulaga kibalina okukola fetulaga nti market eri wano.
Minister of Kampala echoed this during the ongoing trade show at Mukono district headquarters codenamed Business Festival, with entrepreneurs showcasing their products. Minsa Kabanda asked the youth to live responsibly and participate in the campaign against sexually transmitted diseases.
Omuntu omulungi agamba banne ati kino kirungi jangu tukikole ate nabye n'abakyala eri abakulu abagasa omutindo katunkuma egobe biki ate nga ddagala kati. So musaba twongere amaanyi mu bantu baffe. Central government eziri ku district ziveeyo, ziri ku division ziveeyo.
The resident city commissioner Mukono Hajat Fatu Mandisaba was among the dignitaries at the show and was concerned about the high taxes levied on traders. Majirani Luboyera, one of the organizers of the trade show, says the show is aimed at promoting business in Mukono district. So that Kaye, Basilika Sharon, UBC News.
In more stories, leaders in Teso have tasked government to intervene and solve water scarcity in the sub-region. According to the leaders of the most hit district in Bukedea, Katakwi and Kapelebyong, where people move over 2 kilometers in search of safe water. Take a look.
Leaders who gathered at a function to launch one of the 10 boreholes constructed in Koril sub-county, Bukedea district, for Teso, and other 10 for Lango sub-regions, said the water coverage is still low with 68%. Olem Khan Moses, the Bukedea district chairperson, said there is still need for government to construct more safe water sources to save the people from walking long distances.
So we are now trying to advocate to government that we reduce the water coverage, not only by drilling boreholes, but see reducing the distance which people walk for water, then also reducing the congestion of people within the water source, ensuring that we now strategically drill boreholes depending on where the people are settled.
Geoffrey Omono, the Katakwi district chairperson, revealed that his district has 20 sub-counties but financially handicapped.
It's about 25 million to have a complete borehole. Now, when money is given, of course there is need for dams, for animals, there is need for even irrigation, and there are some wells that we put in the communities. We have to consider what little do we put for boreholes, what little do we have to give this. Sometimes you receive only 100 million for water. So we have to see how we can put one borehole here, see how we can have a dam, and so on. So that is the critical challenge that we have there.
Due to the public outcry for water, Uganda Breweries Limited has intervened to curb the water shortage with a handover of 20 boreholes for Lango and Teso sub-regions worth 560 million to serve 9,223 people in the water-stressed areas of Bukedea, Katakwi, Kapelebyong, Lira and Oyam. Speaking during the handover of newly constructed boreholes in Bukedea, the Managing Director, Uganda Breweries Limited, Andrew Kilonzo, stressed that their intervention is in fulfillment of Uganda's Vision 2040.
Access to safe drinking water and hand washing facilities is low, standing at 51% and 34% respectively, and we are convinced of the need to intervene, and we decided to invest over Uganda shillings 560 million.
Here people trek 2 to 3 kilometers in search of water they often share with animals.
We have only this one borehole, and on top of that the spring well we have. The water is not clean, the worms are there.
Moving on from that, residents in Amudat district have commended government for giving them gala goats that are suitable for the semi-arid environment. This was during the last distribution of gala goats to sub-counties of Greater Karita, sub-counties in the southern part of Amudat district. Details follow.
The distribution of gala goats in Amudat district has ended with over 7,000 goats given to 700 beneficiaries of 15 youth per parish. The resident district commissioner of Amudat district, Betty Akero Otekat, urged beneficiaries to report any death which will occur within 2 weeks of distribution. This comes after many beneficiaries decried death of goats.
Goat dies within the 2 weeks of distribution. They are supposed to be replacing or compensating the beneficiary, so that our people don't lose out.
Residents appreciated government for giving them gala goats, as it will improve the lives of the people of Amudat.
As warriors, you will come from the bush because you are the people who were still somebody proper. But for now you are now already realized that you are. That time now we were lost by the Satan. By now we are supporting the government for your civil, because we have already received these goods, and these goods we have ever seen in our lives. It is so white, which means we believe that it's good in our land. Because if now somebody now get now five and the 5 color goods and the 4 local goods. So now that one we believe now somebody will be very rich, and you are never again to attempt to steal somebody good again.
Naomi. Because we have seen that our president is really concerned to us. Our president can remember us so much. That is why he able to give us like this goat now and the iron sheets.
Leaders also thanked the supplier of Gala goats in Amdat for giving people quality breeds.
For these goats. And if you would have inquired about the numbers of the goats that have died in Amudat, they are very few. It's really a very good thing from our supplier, especially Mr. Haruna Santur Links, who supplied us with the Gala goats.
However, Amdat District LC5 chairperson Joseph Nangole Lobot expressed worry over the delay of the supplier of the hay goats. Meanwhile, Assistant Commissioner for Karamoja Affairs Tony Emi Amenyi refutes allegations by some leaders that the prices of goats were high. The distribution exercise took place at Karita Cattle Market, officiated by Amdat RDC Betty Akero Otekat, LC5 chairperson Joseph Nangole Lobot, and the locals Sudat Kaye. Maureen Yiga, UBC News.
Of the government of Uganda.
Let's take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories in international, business and sports.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Children are a special gift, one we must protect and nurture with care. Ensuring your child has a birth certificate opens doors for them that would otherwise be hard to access, such as immunization, school admission, or simply proving their age and belonging. Let us do our duty as parents and guardians by registering our children and getting them birth certificates. For more information, visit the NERA office closest to you or call the toll-free number 0800-211-700. This message is brought to you by NERA.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals, out-of-this-world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Oil and Gas Moment, brought to you by Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey. The development and commercialization of Uganda's oil and gas resources is being undertaken through 4 flagship projects, which will bring in investment over $15 billion into the economy. The Kingfisher project will produce 40,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The Tilenga project will produce 190,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The 1,443-kilometer East African crude oil pipeline project will transport the produced crude oil to access the international market via the Tanga port in Tanzania. The Uganda refinery project will process up to 60,000 barrels of oil per day to provide petroleum products to the Ugandan market and its immediate neighbors. Additional exploration work is ongoing in the Kanyotaba and Ngasa areas in the Albertine Graben. For more information, visit www.pau.go.ug. Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, the Ministry of Local Government and PDM Coordination Secretariat, is undertaking the Parish Development Model PDM baseline data collection required to inform the implementation of the PDM. The PDM goal is to transform households still in subsistence to the money economy. The data will be collected from the households in the country by parish chiefs, supported by other qualified staff appointed by the respective local governments. All the information collected will be treated with utmost confidentiality. This is to appeal to the general public to cooperate with the data collectors by providing correct information. For more information, please contact the Office of the Public and Media Relations on 0755 342 128 or 0414 706 000 or 0783 026 780. This message is brought to you by Dr. Chris Mukiza, the Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabane. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Watching UBC News Tonight, and today Romeo Odong is a household name among those who appreciate music. The Northern Uganda artist is a graduate of public administration from Gulu University, who was inspired by South Africa's reggae star Lucky Dube. Now, the man behind Yoleng is a popular tune from Northern Uganda. Take a look.
Weathering many storms.
I studied during the war.
Overcoming numerous obstacles.
I am an OB of the prisons as well. Somebody arrested me for something I did not do.
And overpowering countless enemies.
I went through the courts of law. I got bail the following day.
Have been his inspiration to triumphant high point.
I am Luo. I am a gospel artist. Yoleng la ging mo pereya yoleng wano kara kara pili lili yoleng la la wo yabo yo yoleng wano kara kara. Yeah, I hope because you didn't pay, that's enough for you, sir.
Inspired by South Africa's reggae star Lucky Dube the late, and motivated by Judy Butcher, Romeo Odong's music journey has been interesting. A graduate of public administration from Gulu University, Romeo Wilbert Odong had his early days in school, attended during war.
My mom was a teacher, and each time your mother is transferred to another school, you also shift school. And so I had to migrate from school to school. But the biggest impact from my primary level, I would say, has been Gulu Primary School, where I sat P7. And in 1998, I was the only pupil who got a first grade in the entire, I think, Juba Road as such.
A product of St. Joseph's College Laibi, From where he completed his O-level, Odong also went to St. Kizito Secondary School in Bugorobi, a suburb of Kampala. Upon completion of his A-level, he was now cleared by his mother to join the music industry, which she had earlier on discouraged him from.
I sat my senior 6, brought high result, 16 points in Heg D. She was impressed. And then she's like, now I think you're ready to do your music if you want to. Because she knew I really wanted.
Secular music is what he did first, alongside a brother and a friend, releasing numerous tunes, including some in honor of the late Lucky Dube.
The first song we did was called Miss You Dube. Second song was called Reggae Music So Nice. Third song, African Child.
It is a career that dated back to his days in primary school, when his head teacher noticed his capacity in music.
You're my identity everywhere I go.
With a music background of a mother who was a music teacher and a grandmother who loved singing, it was just unavoidable.
My deliverer, my salvation, my provider as long as I live.
My grandma who raised me sang literally everything. She's cooking, she's singing, she's digging, she's singing, grinding for us, she's singing. So music was literally part of everything that I grew up within.
His breakthrough, however, only came when he ventured into gospel music after giving his life to Jesus Christ. This song took the Ugandan airwaves by storm, spreading its message across Africa and infecting music lovers in the world. But behind this melody is a message of hope based on a true life story of the composer himself.
I also have a history of boxing. I actively box, and if such an accusation is put on me, it is easy for people to believe that if really that's not your weight category, if he really did that, then surely he can give you that. And by the grace of God, everything, the case was acquitted.
From the prison experience, which he says he was subjected to innocently, he had 2 or 3 lessons to learn.
That not everybody who goes to prison deserves to be there. Some is because of ignorance, some is because of people, evil people who plan things against you, and to some, they really did what they others are there because they deserve to be there. And so through that as well, God gave me a heart for prison ministry.
Such inspiration has seen him give a hand in his other occupation at Watoto Church and the other environments.
I'm working on the first prison album that the prisoners are recording together with me to bring an album out and talk about how much prison wastes time, how the young generation are supposed to avoid being in prison.
A worshiper, a husband and a songwriter, Odong has mastered the art of balancing family and work. And this is how.
The first ministry is family. If you fail as a family person, you have failed in everything. And so first I had to do it right. Marry my wife, and then there are roles and responsibilities that a father is supposed to do. I make sure I look into those.
Having been a secular musician, seen it and did it all, Romeo Odong has a word for youth.
Sex is amazing, but you need to do it with the right person at the right time. What am I saying? In marriage.
A family man, married and a father of 3, Odong loves cooking during his free time, washing shoes, going to the gym, and playing football. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you so much, Henry Okrur. That was Romeo Dong, a household name among those who appreciate music, gospel music specifically, and one who turned lemons into lemonade. Beautiful story right there. Moving on from that, the Bishop of Lugazi Catholic Diocese, the Right Reverend Christopher Kakoza, has commended proprietors of schools across the country for supporting the education sector. This was during celebrations to mark 22 years since SETA schools were established, which also coincided with confirmation of over 300 students at the function held at Chigombia SETA School campus in Mukono.
The Bishop of Lugazi Catholic Diocese, the Right Reverend Christopher Kakoza, has commended the proprietors of private schools and institutions for supporting government in the education sector across the country. This was during celebrations to mark 22 years since SETA schools were established. At least 300 students were confirmed in the Catholic faith during a colorful mass held at Chigombia SETA School campus in Mukono district. Kakoza commended Dr. Jesse Muhingo for promoting the education sector in the country and also SETA Schools administration for guiding the learners to fear God and not to derail from their traditional religions. Centenary Bank Managing Director Joseph Balikudembe officiated the event and advised the youth to utilize the conducive learning environment to acquire education.
I want to thank and appreciate our parents here today. Thank you very much for investing in your children's education. As Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Your commitment in securing our countrymen and women will give solutions to many challenges.
Story compiled by Salongo Kasewanti for UBC News.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say for register.
What's going on here?
He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet and only you, the owner, have access to it. Just dial *185 *10 hash and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Oh, Susan, I want to propose to Rose. Yes, and this time I am serious.
Have you guys had sex?
Duh, of course.
And have you had sex without using condoms?
Hey, nga you're curious.
I'm more concerned. Are you having sex with other people?
Hey, hello. Is this an interview or what?
No, just things you should think about. Do you know Rose's HIV status?
Okay, this is serious. Should I be worried?
It is actually serious. Do you know your HIV status?
I think I am safe. Many times we get into situations that put us at risk of HIV. However, the first step to ending HIV is getting tested and knowing your results.
It's Time Up HIV. Call 0800-211-046 or text 8080 toll-free for more information about how to prevent HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ministry of Health with support from USAID.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Leaders who care create a good learning environment.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. In more stories, Kasana Luwero Catholic Diocese has promised to continue promoting Skilling Uganda initiative aimed at promoting vocational skills in the country. The Diocese of Kasana Luwero donated 10 acres of land to government for the construction of Bamunanika Technical Institute, Mulaje.
Government, through the Ministry of Education and Sports, rolled out the Skilling Uganda program 10 years ago. The program aims at promoting vocational skills, changing people's mindset to fight unemployment. Following this, government embarked on the campaign of locating land to construct vocational institutions across the country. The Catholic Diocese of Kasana Luwero, through the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, donated 10 acres to government and constructed Bamunanika Technical Institute, Mulaje.
So, Mr. Mwede, please convey our sincere thanks as the Diocese of Kasana Luwero, Dr. Muyingo, what he's doing for this institute. Because the existence of this institute here is our pride as Kasana Luwero Diocese. It adds a lot to evangelization, where we spread the word of God to the people.
The assistant parish priest promised that the diocese will continue partnering with government for the betterment of the institute.
Of intensive COVID, many people have discovered their opportunities because of composition and inventing everything. Many people have come to know they have been wasted. Whenever you have a hard situation, it should be a chance of learning and inventing and being creative. Then we come out as a new person, instrument of developing the world.
This was during a function to welcome teachers and students, which also coincided with the swearing in of Students Guild Council at the Institute. The Principal of Bamunanika Technical Institute, Mulaje Muambo, John Ronald, urged government to support the institute with vocational training equipment, instructors' houses among others, and commended government for the funds to complete several buildings.
If you're a fashion designer, it's not bad. Feel free. If they say fashion design and please stand up, feel free and stand up. It's not a mistake, it's not a crime. Feel free, feel proud of your voice. Okay? It's not a mistake.
So that Kaye, Fred Kasivante, UBC News.
Yellow fever is a serious disease that is caused by the yellow fever virus from monkeys. The virus is transmitted to humans by a bite of an infected Aedes mosquito. The yellow in the name refers to the yellowing of the body, mainly the eyes, mouth, and the palms. Other signs and symptoms like rapid onset of fever, headache, general body weakness, loss of appetite, vomiting, usually appear in the first 3 to 6 days of being bitten by an infected mosquito. Remove potential mosquito breeding sites such as stagnant water and bushes around your home, and sleep under an insecticide-treated net every night to avoid being bitten by mosquitoes. Parents, take all children aged 9 months to the nearest health facility for vaccination. During the same visit, the child will also receive measles and rubella vaccine. Adults can as well get lifelong vaccination against yellow fever. Notify the health worker about any suspected yellow fever case at the nearest health facility. Please note, yellow fever is not transmitted from person to person by contact. For more information, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line.
This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from World Health Organization and UNICEF.
From the sports scene, one of Uganda's most renowned post-primary education institution, Mountain St. Mary's Colleges Namagunga, has hosted its 2020 Sports Day. For many of those in the outside world, it was hard believing that the sight of excellent ladies at an institution more common in knowledge as an academic giant.
Mount St. Mary's College Namagunga has over the years committed itself as Uganda's #1 post-primary education institution. Whereas most of us thought that it is purely an academic giant, the college's 2022 Sports Day proved otherwise.
I think there is a lot of coordination in sports, and I'm sure that's why the girls here are well coordinated. That's why they perform very well academically, and the way you have seen them also performing very well in sports, I think they go hand in hand. Last year we had 2018 there were 15, last year there were 12 who went to the university because of sports.
The competition was between the 4 houses including Vega, Triton, Orion and Aquila in disciplines like athletics, bicycle race and acrobatics. There was also fundraisers and a tug of war involving parents, students, teachers, old students and well-wishers. On behalf of the Deputy Speaker, Zomba Woman Member of Parliament Esther Afoyo Chan lauded the institution for its holistic approach.
These girls are headed for greatness in future because sports strengthens their body and mind. However, the government has a plenty of resources and time invested to have the rural woman and every woman reach her potential. So I have no doubt that these ladies, these young girls we see today will blossom.
The school head teacher, Reverend Sister Regina Nabawanuka, says the school treasures sports, and it is in fact venturing into a state-of-the-art swimming pool to increase options.
They love sports. Even those who cannot participate, at least are morale boosters, very good morale boosters, and it really helps them to have a team spirit. They love sports, the girls love sports.
In the competition, Aquila House triumphed with 94 points, followed by Vega, Triton and Orion. John Band Sentamu, Saddam Mubale, UBC News.
Well, that brings us to the end of UBC News Tonight. That started at 8 p.m. and has ended at exactly 9 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha, joined by Mugalu Mohammed on Sign Language.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Kutesa Milio with your weather update. We are still experiencing sunny intervals in most parts of the country, apart from some few areas across Lake Victoria and the northern part of our country are experiencing light isolated showers. This is due to the local effects. And seeing the satellite picture is we are having a raging over the tip of South Africa, both continental and maritime, pushing in the dry, hazy winds towards our country. That's the continuation of the dryness that we're experiencing lately. But tomorrow morning, we expect to wake up with sunny intervals in most parts of the country, apart from some few areas across Lake Victoria. They're expected to have light thunder showers. Afternoon hours, they expect a pickup of light showers in northern part of our country, but the rest of the country to continue with sunny intervals. Temperature is up to 30 degrees among somewhere across the northern part of our country, 29 in the central region, 28 in the capital city, Kampala, Kampala Highlands with 25 degrees Celsius, Kasese with the highest of 31 degrees Celsius. Just moving out of Uganda, the few cities that we have for you, Nairobi, New York, Dubai and Paris are expected to have sunny conditions. Beijing with cloudy conditions at a maximum of 30 degrees maximum, and Dubai with 39 degrees. Delicious. Thanks for tuning on UBC. I'm Kutesa Mili. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.
Water gives life. Water is life. But not all water is created equal. Refresh yourself with the new quality Nirvana packaged drinking water and fuel you and your passion to go further in life.
Visit a shop near you and grab a 250 ml at 500 shillings, 500 ml at 1,000 shillings, 1.5 liters at 2,000 shillings, or the 20-liter jumbo bottle at 19,000 shillings. Nirvana is a product of Crown Beverages Limited, the makers of Pepsi products.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
God's been good to you. Can I get a witness? You don't have to worry.
You don't have to worry.
Don't you be afraid.
And don't you be afraid.
Joy comes.
Joy comes in the morning.
Troubles, they don't last always.
Troubles, they don't last.
Youth of Purpose.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to inspire you, transform you and equip you as a young person to be able to contribute to your country's development and also be of concern of whatever transpires as far as young people in this country is concerned. So today we're going to be looking at the students' leadership relevance as far as advocating for a better education system in Uganda is concerned, and we're going to be talking to a number of young people, but also I have the leaders from the Uganda National Students Association, UNSA, and they're going to be elaborating to us what's the relevance of the association. Is it having any effect as far as, you know, the education system in Uganda is concerned? Lady and gentlemen, welcome to Youth of Purpose.
Thank you.
Starting with ladies, as always. Julia, welcome to Youth of Purpose. Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Hi everyone, it's a pleasure being hosted. Once again, my name is Julia Mpumuza, the 32nd Vice President of UNSA.
Amazing. Amponda.
Thank you so much. Hi everyone. My name is Agaba Kenneth Amponda, the 32nd Speaker of the Uganda National Students Association.
Amazing. Starting with you, Julia. First of all, tell us about UNSA.
UNSA is the Uganda National Students Association. Is a body that represents all students post-secondary in Uganda. And we are established right from the schools themselves, the secondary schools. We have school councils, and then they later vote amongst themselves, the district executives, so they form the district council. And then we have the guild councils in universities, we have representation from tertiary institutions, and then now all those delegates come together and vote what we know as the National Executive Committee now. That's where I sit, and that's where Amponda sits. Amazing. Yeah. So UNSA's establishment right now is over 30 years, wow. Yeah, because we are the 32nd leadership. And it's all existence is for advocacy and welfare of students in institutions and schools.
Amazing. So, Julia, first of all, what's your stand as far as the education system in Uganda is today?
Education system is quite a broad term, but I want to say because we are there for the students, that means from our side, everything from the education system of Uganda that's not really enabling the students to attain one, affordable and quality education, we are not in for it, And I want to point it out that post-COVID, very many schools were affected. Right now we have very many teachers on strike, and very many schools were actually closed, And then the government having, I don't know what to say, a silent stand on all these issues in the education sector makes UNSA actually come up and advocate.
Is the government silent?
The government, why I call it a silent stand is we as students feel like the government is not considering education a priority, Because post-COVID adapting and all, we would expect the government to have measures to enable students to keep in school, but nothing was done. Look on the online system that was introduced to have students adapt in the COVID and post-COVID. I mean, students still had to buy for themselves data, and on top of that, the government put the internet tax. So there is, education system is such so broad, but from UNSA, we are for the students, and we are going to keep emphasizing quality and affordable education. And even when students are in schools, we are going to keep pushing for their welfare, and so that in the end they attain what exactly they are supposed to attain out of school.
Ponda, as far as the quality of education that we're having in Uganda is concerned, does that make any sense, or do you think it is effective that the education you attain is going to be on any relevance when you go out of school?
Thank you so much, Mr. Ivan. As of recent, the education system that we have is major developing job seekers. That's what I can say.
True.
Some way back, when I was still in primary school at Valley Primary School in Kabale, we always had things to do with developing, let's say, maths at school, and you go at home, you make a math. When you come back from home, they give you marks depending on how you have developed that math or basket.
They used to call it handwork.
Handwork. They used to call it handwork. And we used to have also PE, whereby we used to go to the pitch, and you would find a child of, let's say, around primary 2, they would play some nice soccer. And soccer by then was highly regarded as a precious thing. You could get scholarships out of soccer, which has reduced at the moment.
The competitions were so high.
The competitions were so
dance
high.
And drama.
Music, dance, and drama. And I remember I myself was in the school choir. We used to sing. That's why I developed that love for the singing. But now you look at the education system, it has mainly created job seekers, whereby you spend more of the hours in class studying theoretical things, and practically they are not applicable. You see, primary schools to the secondary school level. I went to Mbarai School, and we used to have woodwork as a subject, and we used to have as well metalwork as a subject. And these are subjects which would help out students who didn't manage going to class, the other academic part, and they go to the carpentry or metal workshop. But now you see there's been even limited funding of these institutions that offer technical work. So I think the government should come up with a better strategy of involving students to hands-on activities in schools. Let's have school gardens whereby students will always go for practical agricultural sessions, not having agricultural sessions on blackboards, and then they go outside to the world when they are ineffective in terms of service delivery. So I think it's good, as also we have been advocating for a hands-on education system, whereby we have looked at visiting different offices in the government. We have gone to the office of the Deputy Speaker, and this is exactly what we are requesting from his office, that the Parliament can come up with the Parliamentary Committee on Education should come up with a better way of involving all these aspects in the education system.
Julia, you have something?
Yeah, I really want to add on something. You realize I just concluded a couple of graduation ceremonies, And sad to say that even those that were carried on last year and many years ago, many graduates are still home seated, yeah? Because that's the nature of the education system. You come out, the existing few jobs need working experience, yeah? And even when you are in school, you just do not have the practical knowledge. Like when you go out there, you need graduate training. You need now the practical knowledge, which is a disadvantage. Right now, it's hard for me to compete with someone who has studied abroad because of the nature of their education system. While they are in school, they are groomed to actually be fit for the next jobs or whatever they will do after school, which is not the thing in Uganda. But also on what UNSA is doing, we came up with a concept on it's called the Presidential Initiative on Science and Innovation. We realized there are very many brilliant ideas among students that no one gets to listen to, and yet they can either be a part of creating employment opportunities or even solving some of the problems in our community. Yeah? It's a concept that is mainly targeting young innovators, young brilliant minds to come up with their ideas, get funded, and then they can be of use in our community.
Amazing. Talking about the initiatives that you're doing, are you doing any partnerships as UNSA with other organizations and other agencies? Talk about the National Youth Council to solve the challenges that the young people, majorly in schools, are facing?
Yeah, UNSA and NYC are actually sister organizations. And I remember there's a time when a cabinet, I think was one of the cabinets, I'm not sure, was trying to push for removing, scrapping off UPE and USC. And that's the time NYC had to sit on the same table with UNSA. Yeah, because even NYC has the student department, the student affairs. So we had to join forces because they also have the same structure, still village level. Yeah, so we're looking at how best now do we rally students to fight for free education in Uganda. Like even if it was just in just consultative meetings, you know how things start in Uganda. Before you know it, it's a closed chapter. We were like, no, we're not going to wait for this to be concluded. We have to raise a voice. And then we came together with NYC. Right now, UNSA also has memorandum of association with PAO. Yeah, Pan-African Women's Organization, and we believe this will help. Right now we're working on a concept of teaching very many young girls across the country how to make sanitary towels, and we look at partnering with as very many organizations in that field is concerned, because we realize very many people have been coming up to help, and yet we have the immediate people in schools and girls are dropping out. So we decided to carry on this project, and we are looking at working